All right, we had a YouTuber ask us a question about ballistics charts and more importantly, something called a whiz wheel. We categorize those with almost all BDC type reticles and turrets. They're a very common thing to see across the board. We talked about this in depth and massive detail in our online long range shooting school. This isn't a pitch for the school, but I'm going to give you just a small thought or idea answering that question because I think this is worth a couple minutes talking about. So right out of the gate, they are plagued with all kinds of problems, and it's nothing against the whiz or the whiz wheel, I think they call it, or what a lot of your major companies will offer as much as an $800 upgrade to get you custom engraved turrets that will give you the distances, so you don't have to dial your dope, you just dial up the distance and shoot. And I'm here to tell you that after, and I can speak from a place on this, so there are a lot of times that I will be cautious on giving my opinion because I don't have a lot of information about the things I'm talking about. I can only tell you from things I've had experience with. We've been teaching a shooting school for 18 years. I've been competitively shooting for well over 2 decades. I've been training people for well over 2 decades, and I have watched hundreds of people come through the school over the course of the last 2 decades bringing these type of devices. And out to 1, 2, 3, 350, maybe 4, they'll usually run pretty good. Sometimes out to 5, especially with the current availability of the information we can put in, the quality data that we can get. But beyond 500, they usually fall apart. The difference between those and people making those by saying, hey, submit us all this information about your rifle and we'll give you your dope for your rifle in a BDC drop, either reticle or a turret. The reason that there's such a big problem is that they're guessing. There's lots of things that they cannot get for your rifle that you need. So for example, they can't take into account the curvature of the rifle bore. Now, this is something that's not spoken a lot on the internet, but you cannot drill a straight hole in anything, and it includes barrels. And so inside this barrel, although the outside is turned perfectly straight, the bore or the rifling is actually bowed. It's got a curve to it. Higher quality barrels, of course, less bow, but that is a fact that's been known in the industry forever. It hurts accuracy. It does all kinds of things when chambering, but we'll save those for another story. So they don't know where your rifle was indexed when the barrel was installed because your bullet isn't really exiting the bore sometimes always perfectly straight because of that curvature to the bore. So that can be one problem. Another problem that can be is the fact that they're using the ballistic coefficient provided by the manufacturer, but they sometimes fib a little bit because let's face it, everybody wants to have the highest BC for their class of bullets, and they have been caught in years past of sort of exaggerating what the BC might be. And the other thing is that's the BC on the box, not out of your bore. So another huge issue with all of these is that when your rifle is shot or when you shoot your rifle, you're deforming the bullet. And so your rifling lands and grooves can be of different, your grooves and lands can be of different depths. Your lands can be of different heights. Your bore diameter could be bigger or smaller from manufacturer to manufacturer, or even in the same lot. And all of these are swaging or deforming your bullet. And that has a massive effect on what your true dope would be at 1,000 yards. So the manufacturer is doing the best they can do and saying, okay, we think the BC for this particular bullet might be 0.545, but every single rifle barrel is a fingerprint to that bullet. And that is going to affect your dope at distance. This is why when Hornady does the 4-dot program, they shoot so many different barrels over, getting an average between them because they know that from rifle to rifle to rifle to rifle to rifle to rifle, they can have this spread out there. Again, this is why I don't really buy into them that much, and I'd rather you go out and get working dope for your rifle. And then keep in mind too that they're offering to provide you a BDC reticle or these solutions, and they're probably better than nothing, for sure, right? But it isn't your true dope for your rifle. Dope isn't something that somebody can magically give you for your rifle. Dope is data of previous engagements. That is your dope for your rifle is something that you've actually shot and verified at all these different distances to be true. And so the difference between somebody handing you a BDC or some other type of device that would say, here, just dial this distance and shoot, and having real verified dope for your rifle is the fact that one is preemptively giving you what they think it should be. The other is actually shooting the rifle and telling you what the actual dope for that rifle with that bullet combination in those certain weather conditions actually is. The third part to this, which isn't talked about even less, is the fact that when you're dialing up dope for a rifle with a scope on it, the acceptable accuracy for some scopes might be 94 to 96%. And in math, that's a great score. That's an A, right? But in our world, what that can mean is you could have a small percentage error at 1,000 yards because of the dialing of your turrets or the mechanical mechanism inside your rifle scope. Keep in mind, the average 308 can require almost 300 inches of drop. If your rifle scope itself, let's just say it's out 3%, it's 97% accurate, that's 9 inches. No BDC reticle can compensate for that. They don't know that. And so by you shooting your rifle, your bullet with your optics, you're able to actually get not just what they think you need, but what you need with that bullet in that barrel with that optic on it. And so we hold and have held in the class ballistics classes in which you can come in and spend the day with us to actually get true working dope for your rifle here. We actually take time out every year to do that to try to help our customers, as well as what we call a build assist. And then in the future, we'll be offering the service of actually going out and doping a rifle. Now, the last thing to talk about when you're doping a rifle, this is just really quick public service announcement, is your bore is going to break in of your rifle. So if you go out with the rifle being brand new and you chronograph it and you're super excited to get it out at distance and you actually dope your rifle out, getting all your center to point of impacts that you have to go back and re-chronograph your rifle after about 150 to 200 rounds, because typically your bore is going to break in a little bit and you're going to pick up some velocity, and that can be as much as 30 to 100 feet per second. So lots of things to talk about. This is one of the reasons why it's really good to focus on one rifle, getting it running perfectly true right out of the gate. It requires a lot of attention. But know that after you do get working dope for your rifle, if it's brand new, you should re-chronograph it and re-verify everything about 150, 200 rounds, because you are going to pick up some velocity. So hope you enjoyed the video. I really appreciate the question that was asked on one of our previous videos about what are my thoughts on the Whiz Wheel. And it has nothing to do with the Whiz Wheel itself. I'm sure it's a great product and great service that they're offering, and they're doing the best that they can do. I'm giving you my thoughts on BDC bullet drop compensating, turns, reticles, all of that stuff combined, and the difference between those and getting true working dope for your rifle. Hope you enjoyed the video.